Heidi, Heidi, ho! Alright, welcome to actus rea. What is the actus rea? The actus rea is the guilty act, just like mens rea is the guilty mind. I don't think I said that in the last one, but whatever. So, what is a voluntary act? It's an act you volunteered to do. So, if you are choosing to act, you have volunteered. That's it, really. I mean, what are involuntary acts? That's easier. That's easier to kind of get you a list of those. If you have a seizure, that's involuntary. Say you're at a shooting range. Legally, you're holding a gun, and for the first time in your life, you're struck with a seizure, and you shoot somebody. That wasn't voluntary. So that's not voluntary. Seizures are not voluntary. If you're unconscious, what your body chooses to do, that's involuntary. To be clear, if someone forces you to do someone, that's voluntary. If the choice is death or do it, you do have a choice. If someone has mind controlled you, that's a different question. Hypnosis is an up in the air situation, since some people don't believe it's real. If you can prove hypnosis is real in a court of law, then you can probably use it as a defense. Otherwise, you might have difficulty. Sleepwalking is the other one. Generally speaking, courts are going to be a little more lenient towards that one, but it's a harder defense to make. Gonna need evidence that you're a sleepwalker. Otherwise, people could just do whatever they want at night and be like, but I'm a sleepwalker. It is midnight. I probably should have made these a little while ago, but whatever. So that's what a voluntary act is. I mean, that is really all you need to know. Now, when it comes to an involuntary act, I should note, if it's something that you know happens to you, say seizures that you have a lot, epileptic attacks, involuntary movements, Tourette's, you're liable for those. If you know they happen to you consistently or on occasion, and you choose to put yourself in a situation of danger anyway. Obviously, if you have seizures and you slap someone, you can't stop that. But if you have seizures that make it unsafe for you to drive, there you go. That's your fault. You volunteered to drive. Negligent driving occurred because you drove when there was a real risk of you having a seizure and crashing. Obviously, your risk level of your seizures will go back and forth. If you get a car seizure hypothetical, if it's their first seizure ever, they are fine. If it's if they've had it regularly, they're not fine. They are, in fact, negligent, potentially reckless, depending on how you want to look at things. Probably reckless, since they did know, but then it comes to the question of how substantial was the risk. Negligence is probably the go-to. But I very much doubt that if you get a car seizure hypothetical, which is an actus rea hypothetical, that they're going to ask you for the mens rea. If they do, it's negligent or reckless. Obviously, you didn't have knowledge because you didn't know that it was really likely to happen, unless you have seizures constantly, in which case, that's a mean hypothetical. Note to self. All right, that's most of actus rea, I believe. Oh, omissions, right. You don't have a duty to act. This is something that you can have come up on other questions. If you're doing a complicity, a conspiracy, whatever, these elements, you have to have action, generally speaking. And you have no duty to act in most situations. Duties need to either be created statutorily or exist in sort of this nebulous moral law concept. There is a specific list of them. I don't have them on my head. Good news is this is an open book test. But parent, teacher, employee, employer, ward and wardee, warder, guardian, warden, guardian, probably a half dozen other ones. But those are sort of exist with or without a statute, right? If you're responsible for someone and their well-being sort of as a really obvious sense, you're also going to be responsible to assist them. That's a duty. So if you have a duty to act, you can be charged with an omission as your actus rea. If, for example, you are a mother, a lot of these are child negligence and abuse cases, so trigger warning on that, this isn't fun. But say you're a mother and you choose not to feed your child. A random stranger is not responsible for feeding your child. You are. you have a duty to feed your child. The mens rea there, depends. Probably knowingly, to be honest. Everyone knows you have to feed babies, but if this is the question, it's not going to be a knowingly. In fact, if you have a child abuse question, a child negligence question, it's not a question of mens rea. It's going to be an actus rea. If you have a child abuse, that will be a mens rea question a lot of the times, and if it is, it's going to be specifically about did they intend to kill the kid? The answer is usually no. In fact, that's often not even going to be enough for recklessness, which I disagree with, but we'll leave that alone. Generally, the answer in a child abuse case, as most cases, is it's negligence. I don't like child abuse. Child abuse is not cool. No, hot takes only on this this YouTube channel. All right. That is pretty much everything with actus rea. You might notice actus rea seems kind of easy. It is. Mens rea is the difficult one. So watch that mens rea video a few more times if you give me some engagement. I love vaguely acting like I'm actually a YouTuber rather than I'm just making study guides for myself. Yeah, I like the immersion. All right.